To do? Why? How are you here? You died 5 years ago.
I was saved by my brothers, men of Duscur.
Those people you were with, they were of Duscur? And they saved you?
Your Highness, I asked that you fulfill your long-held desire, did I not? Allow me to once again act as your sword and shield. Please, let me witness your triumph. I want to behold the moment your wish is finally granted.
To do? Of course. And in exchange, I ask that you swear something to me here and now. Do not ever throw your life away again. Understood?
Your Highness. Understood.
Idiots. Embracing death for the sake of that woman. Truly foolish. I don't know. They were just beasts with human faces. I had no choice but to kill them, and so I did. That is all there is to it.
It's about time you two returned. We must discuss our next course of action.
Please, I need to join you no matter the cost.
I'm sorry, but my hands are tied.
By the goddess, what's with all the commotion? What is this girl doing here? This is an army, not an orphanage.
I believe she's from a nearby village. She keeps insisting that she needs to join our ranks.
And you thought we could use a child on the front lines? Hurry up and take her back to her parents.
My family is gone. I don't have anywhere else to go. Please, I can use magic and I can fight. I can cook, do laundry, anything.
I'm sure there are plenty of more suitable places to find work. Why are you so fixated on this army, young lady?
I need to get revenge. I must strike down the one who murdered my big brother.
Your Highness, what should we do?
Let her do as she pleases.
Thank you. Very much.
Part 2. Azure Moon. Great Tree Moon. Blood of the Eagle and Lion. Now in control of the Great Bridge of Myrddin, the Kingdom Army begins to invade Imperial territory. In response, the Imperial Army garrisons soldiers at Fort Mercius.
Here for the flowers again? I see. I have two things to say. First, I thank you for supporting His Highness in my absence. But I must also admonish you for taking your own well-being too lightly. On several occasions, I have seen you protect others by putting yourself in harm's way. I am grateful for your efforts, but I feel you should place a higher value on your own life. His Highness relies on you, as do I. Then show that with your actions. We cannot afford to lose an invaluable asset like you. And... this greenhouse would be a more lonely place without you in it. It would not be fair to the flowers to leave me their only caretaker. Someday, I hope to show you a whole landscape of these flowers in full bloom. Yes, once this conflict is over and His Highness ascends the throne, I believe it can be done. You must live at least until then. Understood? I had not thought much of my own life until now, except that I would gladly cast it aside for His Highness. That is still true, but now I desire to see the end of this war. Until I can show you the fields of Dusker and bloom, I will go on living.
We have received a report from our spy. It would seem the Empire is gathering troops at Fort Merceus. This is undoubtedly in response to us taking the Great Bridge of Murden. Their numbers are more than double ours. We believe that the Emperor herself may be leading them. If House Regan can reconcile with House Gloucester sooner than later, then Claude can proceed with his plan to rally the Alliance Lords, gather troops, and invade Empire territory.
At this rate, 3 military forces will be clashing at Gronder Field.
If you wish to indulge in nostalgia, do it elsewhere.
I'm afraid the difference in military strength is far from negligible. While we are elite soldiers, I am still uneasy about this.
If possible, I'd like to request reinforcements right away. If we can rely on any of the major kingdom houses for military support, it would be House Karen, I'd wager. House Karen has yet to declare fealty to the Empire.
It is also my home. I will make the request to my father. With things as they are, I don't think he can refuse. The Church has long protected me. I am certain that any request from the Church will be answered to the utmost of their ability.
Very well. We're counting on you, Catherine.
I suppose that is all we can do for now.
So it would seem. Though if there are any other avenues worth exploring, I would suggest...
Ah, good point. We have no reason to engage the Alliance directly.
Even if we do receive Count Karen's aid, we still won't have the troops we need to face the Empire.
But if we join forces with the Alliance, then our numbers will rival the Empire's. Agreed. It's about the only thing we can do. For now, let's send a messenger and try to figure out what the Alliance hopes to achieve.
It's hard to believe this decisive battle will take place at Gronder Field. I imagine that place is full of memories for all of you.
We won the Battle of the Eagle and Lion back in the day. It seems like a lifetime ago.
I can't help but remember, even though I wish I didn't.
Our feast after the battle. I remember it well. We all had so much fun together.
No! Please, stop it. I had finally put all of that out of my mind. This isn't right. They're our friends. We used to study together. We shouldn't be fighting them.
Why not march up to Her Majesty in a reminder of that? Oh, that's right. Because you want to live to see tomorrow.
No matter who the enemy is, I will fight for His Highness.
Tell me, Boar Prince, do we stand a chance?
Who knows?
If we lose, we'll have died for you. I hope you know that.
That's enough, Felix. We must focus on the battle ahead.
Make your peace before we depart. It's kill or be killed out there. We will cross blades with the Empire, but it's possible we will also have to strike down the Alliance.
Your Highness, do you feel no hesitation about killing your former friends?
I'm used to killing familiar faces by now.
Thank you.
I have a thought.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Okay.
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
Yelena, I hope things go back to normal soon. People need more to smile about, aside from my great deals. Hey, how about a favor?
Hello!
Will this one do? It's all yours. Take it. Will this one do? It's all. Will this one? It's all. Will this one do? It's all. Will this one? It's all. Will this one? It's all. Will this one do? It's all. Will this one? It's all. Will this one do? It's all. Will this one? It's all yours. Take it. Tell your friends.
Hey, welcome. You have a good eye. A pleasure. Come again.
Maybe. Actually. Thank you so much.
I am grateful.
Thanks so much.
Much appreciated.
Professor! Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. The Great Tree Moon is finally upon us. It's time to celebrate a new year. We only get so many. Folks up top don't seem to be in the mood to celebrate, though. I hate war.
We've seen the face of evil. One of its faces, at least. Even the Alliance is involved now. Hopefully, we can avoid dragging Alliance territory through the horrors of war. I may have cut ties with my family, but I still want them to be safe and all.
That's so. What a pain. What an absolute pain. Concerned, are you? That's nice. A little too nice. Here's a word of warning. If anyone here asks you for a favor, it's probably just a scam.
Across the bridge is Burgley's territory. It marks the start of our incursion into the Empire. Worry not. I feel no trepidation as we do this. Mark how my spellcraft carries us through to Envar, heart of the Empire.
That Duke Fraldarius is a rather outstanding guy. Getting into his good graces isn't without challenges. If he were a bit more corrupt, he'd be much more pliable. I'm not trying to pull anything funny, just noting that he's a respectable soldier. I hear he's the sort to have drinks with his men, getting to know them personally. Just last night, he and Felix had a chat. I'm sure there's a lot to work out between them.
I used to be a rather important person in the church, but I am in exile for committing a crime. I embezzled some money, but it wasn't out of greed. My hometown was pillaged, you see, and the church wasn't putting in enough to rebuild. Please, you can't tell anyone you saw me here. I'm in hiding from the army. I couldn't stand the war, the violence. I had to get away. But now that I've deserted, I can't go home. Justice, ambition, what does any of that matter if you're dead? I just want to live. Is that so wrong? Yikes. They're fighting people we used to know from the Officers' Academy. Guess that's the kind of thing that happens in war, but still, it's pretty twisted. It makes me feel so... Ugh. Maybe I'll just try not to think about it.
Say, I once saw the prince patting the head of an orphan from the monastery. Does this mean even that cruel man has some empathy in his heart? Was it just a random whim? Maybe my eyes just tricked me.
As powerful as our knights are, we're outnumbered by a long shot. This won't be easy. It's crazy to attempt this. I guess I'm crazy to go along with it.
Hey, you. So, we're finally moving into enemy territory. We can expect the war to get even more intense from here on out. I'm really feeling the tension now. I have almost no experience with battles of this scale. Professor, I'll be grateful for your leadership on the battlefield. I know I can trust you.
Hey!
I have a thought.
Edelgard's presence suggests that Hubert is around too. He is Minister of the Imperial Household, after all. He's been around Edelgard since they were children. I suppose he must be pretty happy with his current position.
Word just reached me that the Empire has stationed soldiers in Fort Merceus. If they decide to dig in their heels and defend the fort, we'll be in a difficult situation. I hear it's an impregnable keep, surrounded by high ramparts. Taking it would not be easy.
What of the... When undertaking research, the usual method is to form a hypothesis, then test it with experiments. Those experiments reveal facts and falsehoods, yet sometimes they also unveil an exception. You seem to be that exception when it comes to my crest research. Worry not, Professor. Exceptions are what make my work interesting. Why don't the rules apply to you? I will find out eventually. I feel it is my destiny as a crest scholar.
Say we do manage to take down Edelgard here. What do you think His Highness will do next? As long as there's a plan, I won't complain. I just, you know, want to know there is a plan. Yeah, I suppose that's the most likely plan, since we're traveling with the church and everything. I suppose we should focus on the battle right in front of us, instead of what happens later.
The Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Has it truly been 5 years since then? Can you recall whether it was before or after I joined your class, Professor? I am glad you have not forgotten. It was shortly after I joined your class. I remember it like it was yesterday.
No. I can hardly believe we're crossing the borders of the Empire to battle their army. I never thought I'd see the day. You'd never guess from the calm looks on everyone's faces, though. I mean, we're probably all gonna die, let's be honest. His Highness, Lord Rodrigue, you? There's really something wrong with a lot of you, I swear.
Professor, reconnaissance is becoming more of a risk the deeper we move into enemy territory. If I don't come back, assume I'm dead. I'm glad you think so highly of me, but we have to be realistic. Don't waste your energy worrying about me.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I hear we're sending troops to Gronder Field next. Is that what's what? That whole area is in the territory of House Burgleys. It's famous as the main granary of Fodlan. If we could capture it, we probably wouldn't have to worry about food anymore. Bread for all!
My thanks. You have my sincerest gratitude. Circumstances and my wounds have prevented me from being by His Highness's side these 5 years. I am grateful that you have found him for me. I am once again in your debt.
I can finally kill her. Finally, I can avenge them.
Well, the situation in the Alliance has changed so much, but I haven't heard a word from my adopted father. Do you think he's forgotten about me? If that's the case, I hope he gets even busier. I'd actually be happier if he really did forget about me. Everything would be so much easier.
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. But I do suspect I already know where she is. If I'm right, and she is in the Imperial capital, then we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
Well, what do you think? I hear the next battle could be a big one. Is that true? I miss the old days when if someone got hurt, we'd rush them to the infirmary and make them well. But on the battlefield, there's not enough time to help. People die. Professor, don't be one of those.
The thought of fighting people who were once our friends, it makes my heart heavy. If it was gonna come to this, maybe I should have avoided making friends with people from the Empire and the Alliance to begin with. I just don't know, Professor. I'm having a hard time with it. It did often seem strange to me at the Academy that we were studying with all these people from all over the world. But I feel like I've finally started to understand the real reason behind it. The more you get to know people from other places, the harder you'll try to avoid fighting wars with them.
So, we're finally going to set foot in the Empire. I'm starting to get a little nervous. We already fought Ferdinand at the Great Bridge of Murden, but I guess there's a good chance we'll be fighting more old friends from here on out.
Thank you for bringing me here. I've been given permission to take part in this next mission, too. I'll finally be able to avenge my brother. I swear, I'll take down that monster.
Yet another grand battle awaits. Many will lose their lives. Yes, let's. We must both make it home in one piece. Even considering those we are up against. Friends from a time now past. I won't hold back.
Catherine will surely be able to convince Count Karen. All that remains is to wait for a response from the Alliance side. For now, there are preparations to be made for the coming battle.
If we defeat the Imperial army at Gronder Field, what will our next objective be? I guess we won't have much choice but to try to take Fort Merceus, on the far side of Gronder Field. It's probably too soon for us to be thinking about that, isn't it? The battle just ahead of us is far from certain.